Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Canadian Woman of the Outdoors. I have another very special guest. How lucky. I'm very lucky to say don't giggle over there. I'm very lucky to say every week that I'm lucky to have awesome guests on here. I've known her for a number of years. We've been through it in this industry. I'll tell you what, definitely the ups and downs of this hunting and fishing industry. I'd like to bring on here the owner and founder of Canadian Huntress and Canadian Hunter, Dana Murray.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show. I think you were around when I first started coming up with this brainchild. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm finally getting you on.
Brainstorming.
Yeah, it was almost a year ago. I was like, I want to do this, and then here we are a year later, finally sitting down.
Yeah.
But
if you throw enough shit at the wall, something is bound to stick.
We're not supposed to swear on here. I'm kidding. I actually don't care. I don't care.
I don't have a filter.
No, and we were literally talking about the other podcast, Call Her Daddy, 2 seconds ago. So anyway, back to our regular scheduled programming. All right, we're gonna get right into it. I'm sorry, my back's really itchy. Getting right into it. So, Dana, I think I know some of these things about you, but I don't know all of it, and our listeners definitely don't. Where did you grow up? How did you get into hunting, fishing? Like, where did you start with that? Like, give us the backstory of little Dana.
Oh my God. Okay, so grew up in the GTA. Was born and raised in Brampton, Bramley. I was gonna say something else.
Filter.
Yeah. Moved to Orangeville and then Mississauga. I moved around a lot.
All city, all GTA from the sounds.
Yeah, mainly GTA until I had to adult and then ended up in Simcoe area, and now I'm out in the Kingston area.
So when you say Simcoe, you're not talking about Lake Simcoe,
not
right?
Your like Simcoe
County.
Yeah, Simcoe County. The
not Simcoe County.
Not 509, 705.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd been going north my whole life. My grandparents had a cottage up on McKellar Lake, so I would go there every summer, every March.
Whereabouts is that?
Past Perry Sound. So go.
Oh, okay.
East.
Yeah.
Go east a bit. Yeah, so I'd spend my March break there, my summers there. Did a lot of fishing my whole life. From the paddle boat with my grandpa out in the stumps, bass fishing in the evenings, and ice fishing in the winter. He would have us, my cousin and I, make rods out of sticks and fishing line. So we pulled fish out of the ice that way, pike. And then I kind of let it go, I guess, once, a teen and adult, didn't pick it up back again until, the kids were of that age where you get them out. And hunting, I didn't get into that until 6 years ago. So yeah.
What got you started into hunting? Like, how did you? Because I know with me, like I didn't grow up hunting or anything like that. I was dating somebody whose father hunted, and then we broke up, and then I ended up just getting in with Lori Ann.
Mm-hmm.
So did you have like a similar experience? Like, did you have parents, grandparents, or did you just kind of discover it yourself and you're like, I like this?
I found out after I got into hunting that my grandfather hunted, but it wasn't talked about. And I guess I wasn't around through those months. Like I said, I spent the summers there and the March break there. So no, I didn't grow up. Nobody in my family hunted. My cousin in North Carolina, he hunts. So we're probably the only two in the family that hunt. My dad, who legally adopted me, is Mohawk, and they hunted, growing up and stuff like that. But no, I didn't have it around me until I was, well into my adult years.
So how did you like dive deep into it? I know we met on a goose hunt, right? It was a goose hunt.
Yeah, I
thing?
got I started out with a bow and just messed around with that and just for target shooting, nothing to do with hunting. And then a buddy of mine said, you know, you should go for your license. Like you do everything else outdoors. And then I went balls deep and got that, got my firearms, got my non-restricted, restricted, and I just haven't looked back. Like it's been awesome. My first hunt was I guess a party hunt up at a buddy's cottage. We spent a week there in rifle season, so I learned how to push the bush or dog. I'm not good at sitting. That's where the ADD ADHD comes in. I can't be quiet for that long.
I've seen you on a goose hunt. I know.
Yeah, like my snacks are gone within an hour, and yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you sing. You guys sing Pitch
It was
Perfect.
one time. It was one time.
Okay. Keep saying that. Yeah, now I lost my train of thought. Yeah. So, I mean, you're essentially on like a scavenger hunt, basically, when you're out there. You're looking for shit. You're looking for tracks. You're looking for, you know, scrapes and stuff like that. So, with that being my first hunt, I remember it vividly because you're basically on a scavenger hunt. You're looking for everything that you learned in class.
Mm-hmm.
And your feet are on the ground now doing it, and then you push the big game to whoever's sitting. So we had our GPS with us, and yeah, and then from there I did squirrel, grouse, partridge, and then I did an intro to goose. That's where I first like indirectly met you, was at Lorianne's event.
Yeah, when Pete and Lorianne did that, and that was
it was like where she had all the stations set up. That's where I met Phil.
Oh, yes,
Mhm.
yes. When you came, yeah, okay. When you came down
Yeah, so we had
to
Phil and
the Bruce,
Monica in our group, and that's how we stayed
right,
connected with them to this day.
right,
And then I went to the Steel Shot event. That's where I met
right.
you.
Forgot. Yeah, you were there at that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Dee and I were bunking in. That's how. And then I met all you guys.
Yes, and then we went to the Steel Shot hunt, which was just a weekend of laughs and
Mhm.
ridiculousness,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
And then, yeah.
And then from there, I met you again. Oh God, the side
Tim
of the
Hales.
highway. No, side of the highway. You were taking merch up to your first ice fishing with the guys. You went walleye fishing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah,
How do
and
you
then
remember
Tim
all
Hills.
this?
And then Tim Hills.
It
And
amazes me
then
that you remember all this. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I don't.
Yeah, and then Tim Hills and you got me wasted off of peach moonshine.
I did not. I did not bring that. I did not partake in that. I mean, I
Mm.
did partake in that. I partake in the consumption of it. I did not partake in the. I vividly remember, and it's funny. I vividly remember Caitlin walking around with the jug of it.
Yes.
There's actually a video of Caitlin walking around with the full out jug of it.
That's
That was not
hilarious.
me. That was not me. I was just somebody poured me a shot and I did it. And that was, I think you actually took a picture of us.
Yes.
And then, yeah, that weekend, I think it was, I think I have the video of in that hut when Tara was explaining how to ice fish.
Yes.
And she was telling her coworker that a Zamboni comes out and the fish like bust through. I got to get her on this podcast.
Oh my God,
at some
yes.
point.
She's a riot.
To explain ice fishing. It's the best video. I got to repost that because it's she tells it so well and like with such a serious face. And I remember watching that video. I can hear your laughter. You're just dying in the background. Anyway, we've totally already digressed.
Yeah.
Like both our brains are like, oh, so many things to talk about. Yeah, no kidding. Okay. Yeah. So we've known each other for what then? That was 2019, 5-6 years. We've had some crazy adventures. We've been up to Brock Vegas.
Yeah. Bathtub karaoke.
Pardon?
Bathtub karaoke.
We can't stop. We won't stop. Yeah.
Oh.
We've been, Brock Vegas, I think, is our most common ground.
Yeah.
That's where we usually hang out.
Yeah.
And actually, we're gonna get into that later, so we're not gonna talk about that now. Anyway, digressing back.
Yeah.
Canadian Huntress, Canadian Hunter. Where did the idea for that come from? How did you get started on that? How long has that actually been? Because I believe when I met you, you were already involved in it. I actually have no
Yeah.
clue when it was established. I should know this. Not a hot clue. But like, what kind of got you onto the idea? Because I know it started. It started as a clothing brand, and it's kind
Mhm.
of progressed. So, kind of take me on that journey.
Oh man, so
The
long ago.
Beatles, like, take me on the journey.
So 5 years ago, I started that in
Has it only been
January.
5 years?
5 years, January 2019. Um, yeah, at the same time, I had another business, Original Red Beard. So that was just a
The
men's
beard
grooming,
stuff, yeah.
the beard stuff, the bombs, the oils, all that stuff. And it was kind of getting saturated. It did well.
Yep.
I still have, stuff I sell on the side for that when guys run out. And I was like, well, what can I do to make it better? And then I was like, okay, I'm going to bring merch into it. And at the same time, I had started hunting. And I was like, okay, there's got to be more girl stuff out there, not pink, like hoodies and sweaters. I would wear the stuff from Under Armour my daughter would get me because she worked there. So I was like, well, it's the men's stuff. It didn't fit right. Just like, slogan shirts and stuff like that and
Yeah.
camo. And I'm like, okay, let's do something for the girls. And from there, it kind of snowballed into let's create this community, a sisterhood of, where we can all chat and do meetups and stuff like that. And I mean, because in Canada, there weren't many. There was a couple. I didn't know of Lorianne then. Like I found out about Lorianne a couple months after I started it, actually. And
Well, because different postal or not postal area codes, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's
And yeah, so there was a lot of, from what I had seen, I thought there was this only one thing out there for women's stuff, and it was kind of negative and not what I wanted out there for us girls to, get involved in. And then it kind of just snowballed into something awesome and amazing and friendships and, the camaraderie and the sisterhood of it all. And it wasn't easy at first, but
as I said at the beginning, we've been through it.
yeah, as soon as I started it, I had instant backlash from, another female business owner and who, we're supposed to be supporting each other in this and big each other up because it's not easy. And it was a complete opposite. I was, the attempts to blacklist me when I'm just starting at the bottom here. I don't need to fill any shoes. I'm just doing me and doing what I do. I mean, prior to that, like I said, I had my beard oil company. And prior to that, I had a cupcake shop that I started from my house and then got a storefront in Innisfil. So I wasn't shy to entrepreneurship at all, self-taught. And, it just snowballed into bullshit and,
Just
slander
straight up.
and,
Just
oh,
straight up.
straight up bullshit and slander and defamation. It's like, are you kidding me?
Mhm.
So I spent a good 2019 to the latest was 2022 of defending myself over time every so many months, getting a lawyer involved to send cease and desist letters because the person just didn't get the point that you're not the only female in this industry or in the apparel industry. Like there's Nike, there's
Under
Adidas,
Armour.
there's
Yeah.
Under Armour. Like
Yeah.
get over it already. And then to hear that this happened to other women I know, two very close women I know in the industry. And I was like, okay, awesome. And, but it grew into something amazing. I, persevered and kept pushing. I didn't let it get me down, and we've grown,
Well,
we
you have like a bunch of core group of females. Like you've got
Oh,
Lee,
yeah.
Haley, you've got Sarah Holmes, Lance's
Yeah.
wife. Like you've got
And there's
an
lots that
amazing
come and go and, they go and do their own thing after, and all of us, that end up following each other, we still go like and reshare, whether they're the business girls, excuse me, and like and comment and share and meet up outside of that. It's not like throw them by the wayside in your trash because you leave one organization to go to another. I could care less. That's not who I am, right? So there's that misconception that I support everybody who's, if you're not an asshole and you're not going to screw me over, then I have no reason to not, stay supporting you and call you a friend still. So
well, and I mean that is a huge thing. Like with
Mhm.
being women in our industry, like we have to support each other. Like
Yeah,
we are going to get farther if we like. I mean, this podcast,
yeah,
this is the whole point. Like to support
yeah.
women in this industry, bring multiple. Like you're not the only apparel company I've had on here.
No,
You're not the only apparel company I plan on having here. You're not the only one that
exactly.
runs events. Like I like in order to succeed, like you need to, especially with this, like women should be supporting one another. Now, I was going to ask this question later, but since we already deep kind of dived into it, um, what are the challenges you have faced being like Canadian Huntress and trying to be a female, like running a business, owning a business for like uh, hunting apparel,
Yeah.
trying to do your events and stuff like that in this industry? Like, what kind of challenges have you faced doing this?
I
Because it
would
sounds,
say,
I mean, I know you've been through a lot, but it sounds like there's been a little bit more
you know
since.
what? I've been really fortunate and really lucky that that was the one major speed bump, roadblock, whatever you want to call it. Um, Everything else has been relatively smoothly, and there's really been no pushback from the males in the industry. Um, I haven't encountered any, nasty DMs, saying, "Why are you doing this?" and shit like that. Um, I guess I keep my circle small that way too. Like I don't entertain
Mhm.
the bullshit. I've got a really good mentor, Lance, who's
Awesome, dude.
patient.
My
Oh my
brother from
God.
another mother.
Yeah, he's patient, he's kind, and he loves to teach anybody that's, if they have a question, he will answer it. He will answer questions all day long if people are asking them.
Or sing
And
Pitch Perfect in the blind with you.
sing Pitch Perfect in the Blind. Yep. Or in the living room
Or
with
yeah, in the living room, and then
decoys on
we're
your head.
rapping.
Yeah.
We're
Yep.
rapping.
Yep.
You know.
But no, it's been relatively good, and I've gone out with a couple other outfitters, and I think there's that misconception too that we're airheads or we're dumb. So it's like, oh, we
We're
don't want them out
blondes.
there. Yeah. And they're quite surprised when you do start to ask questions, or if they start to tell you something, I will flat out say, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what that means. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, blah, blah, blah. This is my method. Or next time you go out, try this. And, when you're parting ways, they're very genuine. So
Mhm.
but there is the gap of, not a lot of people want to do the co-ed hunts or shit like that, which we started doing. We did our first co-ed hunt last year through Canadian Huntress, and it worked out awesome. We're going to do that again this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far, nothing really negative like that. I mean, you get some of it with the women. They can be catty, like not our group, but just in general, online. Social media can be a blessing or a curse, and you just got to roll with it. I've had to take several step back from it because it'll consume you, right?
Yep. So what was your original goal with Huntress? how has that changed, and like kind of what is the future goal? Like I know initially you started out as a clothing company. It's
Yeah.
now expanded. Did you plan that? Was that your original goal?
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah. So I applied for a trademark application as soon as I got my business license. And that finally passed, excuse me, September, August, I don't know, the end of last year or summer. So essentially, I own the intellectual property of my brand. I could go sell it if I wanted to. I could
Time out.
go to
What is intellectual property? Sorry.
basically
I'm new to
my
that.
brand is protected now from somebody copying it, using the same name on apparel or advertising or anything like that. So I'm protected that way. I'd be taken more seriously to bigger corporations if I wanted to get involved with them. It's a safety blanket essentially that somebody can't come sue them or me because we own the rights to it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's you're protected. You don't want to go invest all that money on a big shipment of stuff that you had custom done and then just to get sued over the process over each item. Same with music, right? You get sued on each airplay or item sold. So
And so future goals, plans,
yeah.
like what's your future, like what's the future goals? Like where do you want to see Huntress go from here?
I can't talk too much about it, but it is growing. In that it is growing.
Stay tuned for later stuff.
Yes, I'm extremely happy and relieved that I can move forward with that. We're going to stick doing the events we do, a couple annual ones, fishing, hunting. We want to do a couple free meetups where we can just organize, a fish, like come head out to this lake, have a barbecue, where everybody can just meet up because shit's expensive. Not everybody has like 500 to $1,000 to throw down for a weekend. Some can only get babysitters for a day and come out and you want to cater to that, right? So there's that. And just get more involved with the community side of things, like the volunteer work. I've donated quite a bit to the waterfowl industry, but I want to get a little more hands-on with that.
Yeah.
And do more time with that, not just for the dinners and auctions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you're talking about your hunts and stuff like that. Like what else do you have planned for this coming year? Like you said you had fishing trips. Like
Fishing.
what are your events that you're putting on this year, just for people that
so we've got
aren't on the socials yet?
Yeah, we've got a pheasant hunt coming up in the spring out at Exeter that we're doing. That's a day hunt, and a salmon charter. We're just working out the final details of that. We have our annual meetup for some of the Ontario girls, and Cassie from Manitoba. I fly her out and we'll spend the weekend down here touring Ontario, places she's never been, and meeting other girls that she hasn't seen in a while or haven't met yet. And then we've got our 5th annual goose hunt that sold out within a couple hours.
You gotta mention the big thing here.
You're gonna be our chef.
Big guns coming in. The Huntress chef
for the weekend. Yep.
Yeah, the Huntress chef.
Fed.
Me will.
Full. Yep. Fat camp for sure.
Sorry, I got excited there. I was actually talking about that because I guess my last guest, Nikki, is going to that.
Yes.
And I mentioned, I was like, yeah, I'm going to be your chef for the weekend. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, the Huntress chef coming into play now that I got my portable Traeger. And ladies, you are, or it's not co-ed, is it? Or is ladies?
No, that's just the girls.
Am I politically correct? Ladies?
Oh, shut up. I don't care.
Ladies, plus Lance and Steve, you're not ready for the Huntress chef to come in and cook for you guys.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Yeah. We've got the co-ed one November. There's still 2 spots left for that one. that should be a lot of fun as well. And then I've got 2 hunts here. I'm in the cabin on our property, so that's completely renovated now, which can sleep 1, 2, 3, 4. The cabin can sleep 4, and then the bunkie will sleep 4. And we are going to do a couple hunts close to home. It's just hard to bring Hank out to the Airbnbs or the hotels because they don't allow it. So
Hanky panky.
my hunting dog, Hank, yep. So he'll be able to take part in that this year. So yeah, it'll be good.
All right. Now we're gonna get back to a little bit of all about you. Oh yeah. There's some. I didn't send you some of these questions. These are.
I know.
I was like, we gotta keep some of it pretty organic. Okay. So you started fishing.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite fish to target? Your favorite way to fish, whether it's open water, ice fishing, and what is your favorite bait to use? And go.
Oh wow. Okay.
Put you on the spot a lot there. You can start. So I don't know, like if your favorite fish target is smallmouth, but you actually prefer ice fishing, just do your
Yeah, I like ice fishing. I don't prefer it at all.
you hate cold.
I'm allergic to the cold, literally. I got that allergy when I was pregnant with Ethan. So that sucks.
I didn't even know that was actually an allergy until I met you.
Yeah.
And like I saw your reaction to the cold and I was like, good Lord. I
Load
didn't
up
know
on
that was a
Benadryl.
real thing.
Yeah. I don't mind it. I did a lot of it as a kid, and I should get out like once or twice a season, if that, maybe. I like, oh gosh, I love to eat crappie. I've only caught a couple of them. I caught one walleye.
Did you see the crappie I caught?
Saw that. It was nice.
That was a big one.
I caught one walleye last year by accident when I was bass fishing up at Whitestone Lake with my cousin. Yeah. But I like bass fishing. I'll target bass, but then I end up catching pike.
I know. Been there, done that. Saw that with you at Charleston Lake. And you were screaming. Oh, I was so mad.
Yeah. My method of fishing is to constantly swear at the fish.
I was so mad that weekend. I hadn't caught a single thing. You came out for 2 hours and caught this massive pike. Yeah. I was not impressed with you.
Yeah, I was using the chatterbait and it happened.
Mm-hmm. You were targeting bass though.
Yeah, I was. And then I'll see my method with gear and plastics and that. I will change every probably 15 minutes. 10. Like I can't. Yeah.
So so it's funny. I was actually talking to my friend Chrissy about that today because she is the worst. So you know me, I'm team True North Baits.
Yeah.
I exclusively use their plastics. I will sit there for 6 to 10 hours, the same freaking plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't understand how you guys, she's the same way. She switches every 15 minutes.
Yeah. So I did a lot of bass fishing with Rose last year and the year prior, and I switched out plastics probably every 15 minutes, every 10, 15 minutes.
Were you
and I would get nibbles
colors or type?
Yeah, colors.
What were you switching?
Green. They like the bright green.
So you were switching colors, not actual so when I'm bass fishing, sticks is all
that's what I was using. Yeah.
So so you were just switching colors. You were not
green
switching
to dark green to the worm color, and then in certain areas it was pink, and then I'm like, nope, that's trash. Nope, go back to green. Yeah.
So I use, again, talking about it again because I'm a True North Baits fanatic. Yeah. I use their radioactive, their bubblegum, and there's like a bright blue one.
Yeah.
That's all I catch bass on. Yeah. I don't understand how you ladies switch up your stuff so much.
Yeah, it's just
I do not get it.
Yeah, I go into full on ADD mode. I'll swap out rods. Look, that one's not working. I don't like the feel of that one. Go to that one.
I don't get it. I've had the same rod same ice fishing rod, same open water rod, same ice fishing rod, and tried and true, like ice fishing, I use Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
And Caitlin, she's like, "Why do you have such a big tackle box when you use 2 things?" I'm like, "'Cause I have to collect it."
Yeah, and then see, I'll do that. I'll go through my tackle box and be like, "Oh, I have this. Let's just toss this out and see what happens." And it's like, "Fuck, nothing. Go
See,
back
I don't do
inside.
that.
Why do I own this?" Yeah.
I don't even test it out. I'm like, "I know bass bite on that.
Yeah,
I'm
like
gonna
I'll do
use that."
frogs first thing in the morning and, in a certain area, and then that lasts like a whole hot minute, and then it's, back onto this or back onto the plastics. Yeah.
I can't. I cannot switch up like you. And it's honestly funny that you mentioned that because a couple of hours ago I was
Maybe
talking.
that's why you really didn't catch much at Charleston Lake.
Oh.
And Caitlin did, and I did.
Oh, okay. We went right to violence. All right.
Okay,
That's
nice
fine.
talking to you. Show's over.
Yeah. Bye. Okay, and that's it for this episode. Dana's never allowed back. Yeah. Rude. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna get out of the fishing topic now because I'm just gonna get roasted here.
Oh shit.
Like, what is this nonsense? Okay. Hunting.
Yes.
Your favorite thing to hunt.
Oh.
And yeah, so favorite thing to hunt. And what do you use? Ammo, like, do you have an ammo brand? I think I know the answer to that. But your favorite thing to hunt, ammo brand. Talk to me about it.
Oh
my.
Big game, I would have to say bear.
No. In general, there's no like.
General? But I have two.
If you
Okay,
were to hunt one thing for the rest of your life.
Oh, it's got to be birds then. Ducks and geese for sure.
That's your if you had to pick one thing for the rest of your life, you would pick birds. Okay, we'll get back into the bear because I want to talk about that. But okay, so birds, duck and geese. Do you have a preference, duck or goose? Like, do you prefer water hunting, field hunting? Because I know you can hunt from the water, use your waders, whatever, or you can hunt. Like, I prefer standing corn. Standing corn's
love standing corn.
Yeah, standing corn is my
favorite.
Personal favorite to hunt. Yeah. So standing corn's your kind of go-to.
Standing corn's my go-to. I'm kind of new to fishing out of the boats or hunting out of the boats.
That was like 2 topics ago, but good try.
Hunting out of the boat. Yeah, but I prefer standing corn. I
mean, it's kayak, a little easier.
Yeah, I hope to shoot from the kayak this season. I really would like. I'd like to do that.
Hunting out of a kayak, I am so unsure about.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not sure about it. Not sure about it. But mind you, I don't usually like waterfowl out of water.
Yeah.
Like, I'm usually standing corn or we're in a field and it's an A-frame. Like, the last time I did a hunt out of water was, I think, the Huntress hunt with Lance. And
would have been when I took you down the road from here.
Oh, yeah.
We went down to that swamp type old hydro line. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's always a mission. It's more of a mission. It's more of a mission, I think. But again, standing corn's great. If you don't have a blind, if you don't have all that shit, it's, hopping that way. I've got a couple layout blinds. They kind of suck when you get older, like to jump out of them. No.
Well, I mean, I have a bum shoulder. Like, did you ever meet Sheldon?
Yes.
Yeah, so you met Sheldon. So one of the first times I goose hunted was at a layout blinds, and Sheldon was my guide. And first of all, he put me in like a kid's layout blind, and I am all limbs, so my knees were up to my chest, and I'm using a gun that's like, he's 6'5", I'm 5'7".
Yeah,
but like I'm shooting a 12 gauge that's like 16 feet long, trying to jump up out of this layout blind that's too small for me. I didn't shoot many birds.
No.
The layout blinds are not my favorite.
Yeah, no. Yeah, standing corn, I prefer sitting on a bucket or just a fold-up stool. I'm not picky that way. Milk crates are not fun to sit on.
I'd leave a print on your butt.
Oh, fuck, they're so uncomfortable. Yeah. Yeah, that's my
Okay.
favorite.
Now you were talking about big game.
Mhm.
Bear, eh?
Bear. I love bear. Again,
Do you
see, I
go from
love
tree stand or ground blind?
tree stand. I tried ground blind twice, but nothing was coming in.
Did you get a bear last year?
Last year? No, I did not hunt bear last year. I
Neither spring
dedicated
nor fall?
no, I dedicated more time to
You
waterfowl.
you have gotten a bear though, have you not?
Yeah, 2022 I got a bear. So
Fall?
2021, yeah, fall. So I've
Okay. I was trying to
I've
remember.
done spring bear with Lee and Haley when Lee got her bear, her first bear. And
Yes,
we
I
did
remember that.
yeah, so I would go up to Dorset and help Lee bait, and we spent a weekend up there. And then after that, I moved here. And the first year I was here, I acquired the bear hunting property through Hank's breeder and
Yes.
shot my first bear that fall, but we lost it to the swamp.
I remember you text me distraught.
I was
And that
like,
was late at night. I was in bed and I just remember getting a text from you. I'm like, what is
yeah, we
happening?
lost him to the swamp. And then, I was just beating myself up mentally about that. And
Oh, yeah, you were, yeah, we had a,
yeah, and Dave was like, "You know what? You have 8 bears on that camera," because nobody was coming up from the States. The border was still closed, and we had,
yeah.
like, an influx of bears. And
Mhm.
he's like, "You've got the moose and the deer on those trail cams. You've just gotten rid of, one less bear." So it's
Yeah.
happened. He said he lost a deer before, and I'm like, "Oh, shit, I didn't want it to be my first." Like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
fucking sucked. So then 2022 opener, I was dying. I had the worst cold and it was boiling hot out. And I shot a bear from a tree stand in my Crocs. And yeah,
You
I
got
was
to throw
wearing
that in there in my Crocs.
in my
Just
Crocs. Yeah, I was
it's
happy.
imperative the story in my
Yeah,
Crocs.
yeah.
Had to
It
have it.
wasn't the
Were they
bear
camo? Were
yeah,
they camo Crocs?
they were camo. They were my real tree ones, not my waterfowl ones.
I can't. Here I am. I have one pair of camo Crocs, and
Yeah,
I think that's enough. But no, you have like real tree versus waterfowl Crocs.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. You heard it here first, folks. There's got to have different kinds of Crocs.
Yeah. And it wasn't the bear I wanted, but I really, it was a warm fall. I did not want to sit in that shit weather. I had bird brain. I really wanted to get, ready for the early hunt for birds. And there was a big bear I was following on the camera. And apparently they've named him Boss Bear. He's probably like 15 years old. And he patterned me the year prior, and I watched his patterns again, and he just outsmarted me. It was like a game of chess. He knew when I would be sitting there. It didn't matter if I banged the barrel or left the ATV halfway up or walked in. He was smart. That's why he's so old and so big. But, I was happy with what I got and brought it home and cleaned it here myself. And yeah, butchered it myself.
So, what's been your favorite hunting memory then? Hunting or fishing memory?
Oh gosh. My bear is up there. Oh man. I
Putting you
mean,
on the spot. There's a bunch of questions I didn't send you that I got.
that fishing memory of where we caught everything, every target, like every species that day. We were targeting crappie, and my buddy heater caught on fire. I was with you, and
Oh yeah, the buddy. And
we
we
caught
caught a
crappie,
catfish. Yeah.
catfish. Lance watched your catfish jump back into the hole,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I
yeah,
forgot about all that. Oh my god, I
that was
forgot
a
your buddy heater.
tobogganing. We did two ice fishing times that day, in the morning and the evening. We did tobogganing after. Yeah. Hunt? I can't.
I forget about half these things because we've done so much. Like you and I have been on quite a few adventures together.
Yeah.
Like it's not like
Oh, one fishing memory, a good one, was our kayak trip.
no, we're not talking about that one. The one where we didn't catch fish? We're not talking about that one.
Yeah, that was a
No.
good trip. That was a good
Yeah.
trip.
We're not talking about that one. I was thinking about the one, the hunting adventure when we were geese hunting and the sky was black with geese.
Oh, that was beautiful. It was like
And
ground control. They were just every direction.
and Lance didn't even bother calling because he's like, there's
Yep.
just too many. Like the sky, I've never seen a sight like this before. I've never seen so many birds
Yeah, it was
in
wild.
the sky was black.
Yeah.
And there was so many geese. Like that was a crazy hunt for
Yeah.
you and I.
And that was an afternoon hunt. We weren't
That
used
yeah,
to
that was
doing
like a
those. It was just a random
3
Hail
o'clock.
Mary.
Yeah, it was like, let's go hunting. It's 3 o'clock. Let's try. And the sky was black.
Yeah. It
And
was
Lance is
wild.
like, I'm not even gonna call because they can't even hear me anyway because there's so many birds.
Yeah.
I wish I had the footage of that because it's actually crazy how black
I think
that
there was
sky
only like
was.
a 20-second video, and I don't know what happened to it.
I don't yeah, but it was honestly the most crazy experience.
Yeah.
Never seen a bird sky that crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Another one was last year for me. When was it? Oh, the beginning of December. Took Rose out for her first goose hunt.
I saw the videos
And
of that. That was
oh
so
my
cute. Oh my
God, it was so she shot her first goose, and then we just watched the snows. Like the snows were, they didn't want to cooperate. They were in 2 farms behind us, but it was just wild to watch.
Yeah.
Like you'd think they were shithawks in the sky, but then you look closely and they're snows. It was insane. Just insane.
So we're reaching the end of our mark here. So I got one final question for you.
Yep.
We're about 50 minutes, but so for new hunters, anglers, a lot of people, their advice is like just get out there.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've been following around along. I think you have. I always ask, what's your piece of advice for new hunters, anglers out there? That's not just like get out there, whether that's just like have warm socks
Mhm.
or like what is your specific piece of advice? Because everybody says get out there. Of course, we got to
Yeah.
get out there. But like, what's your special advice?
Oh man. Don't overthink it. Like it's a variety of things really. Like don't be afraid to ask for help, and no question is a stupid question. If like I said earlier, where you do the course and then you have to start somewhere, make a day of it. Like bring your kids or another couple, a couple more girlfriends, and be like, okay, let's go look for rabbit shit. Let's look for deer shit. Let's look for, and you just get out there and look
Let's
for
look for
those
poop.
things, right? Yeah, just like look for shit. and, and go back and take pictures. And if you're unsure of it, show somebody who does know that stuff and be like, okay, is this what that is? And be like,
Yeah.
okay, I saw this on my walk. Or, even just, it is a cliche to get out, but it's all your senses too. You have to smell, sound, touch, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Don't compare yourself to everybody else and the level they're at, and don't get overwhelmed at all by that. It's especially social media, it's not always what it seems. And yeah, don't think you need to be at that person's level. You take your time, go at your own pace, do you, don't worry about other people. And like I said, don't be afraid to ask anybody questions. And if somebody gives you flack or makes fun of you, well then fuck you. Like next.
Thank you.
Don't waste
Next.
my time.
Didn't
Don't
it,
waste my time.
was that Ariana Grande? Thank you. Next. Is that the song?
I don't know.
Ariana? I don't remember.
Ariana Grande? Yeah.
Thank you. Next. Whatever her voice is. I don't know. And again, so listeners, as I said in my last episode, if you want to reach out to me, Dana, any of the guests I've had on, they are amazing. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions, if you want to sign up for their events and know more about their events or know more about their business, and if you want to get involved or purchase, or just don't hesitate to reach out. This is why I started.
Don't be a
this.
stranger. Just, start the conversation. It's that easy.
And like, this is exactly why I started this. So people could reach out, people could find.
And that's the thing with all of us. I find, we're not intimidating at all. Like we're so.
I mean, apparently as a hockey coach, I'm intimidating, but I guess that's hockey.
No,
so.
I mean, we're all relatively easy to talk to. It's reach out for sure.
So again, I will be tagging her on this episode. I think Canadian Huntress on Insta, and then Danes Murray is your. I'm gonna post it. I believe we are super lucky to be doing a giveaway with this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, I believe, a hoodie and sweatpants combo.
Yes.
For either Canadian Huntress or Canadian Hunter, depending on who wins it.
Yeah.
If it's a female, obviously you get Huntress. Male, you get Hunter. So it'll be a like, follow, subscribe, comment. I'll post it all on the socials. It is a sweater and sweatpants combo, and as somebody who has worn this sweater and sweatpants, it is a very comfy combo. So it's definitely a giveaway you want to get in on. Super, super comfy. The sweatpants are chef's kiss. So comfy to wear around the house. And I mean, who doesn't love a good hoodie?
Right?
Who doesn't love a good hoodie?
There's so many.
well, yes, you
Wear them right now.
You own a hoodie company that has okay. Well, we're just gonna leave that one alone.
Just live in them. Yeah.
Anyway, Danes, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. We're right about that 50 to an hour mark, which is what I try and aim at. Again, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for chatting with me. No problem. It was good seeing you over the weekend when I saw you. It was nice to actually be face to face again.
Yes.
I can't wait to see where this year takes us with what we've got going on and what we got planned. Otherwise, I'm sure I'll probably have you back on in the spring. We'll talk a download about ice fishing season and
sounds good.
What goes on later on in the year. But anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back in a couple weeks with a new episode. Thank you guys.